Hey everybody, Norm over here, and I have my buddy David Becker over here. And Dave's one of the great guitar players that comes in the store. He's got lessons online at the All Guitar Network and TrueFire and a bunch of other places.
All sorts of places.
And so we did a video prior to this, you know, talking about blues and blues changes and extended voicings on those. And this guitar that you're playing right here, this is a reissue. It's like a West Montgomery L-5, but I've never seen this before because it's a L-5 CT, which is a cutaway thin body. So it's the size of a Birdland, but it's a full-scale, long-scale neck. So it's very unusual because of the full-scale, yet the thickness of a Birdland, and the single pickup West. So it's a West L-5 CT. I didn't even know they did these, but I guess they did a limited amount of these.
Wow.
First one that I've seen, actually,
Okay.
and in natural. And it was nicknamed the George Goebel model because I guess George had the first one of those. Maybe he possibly helped in the design of the guitar.
Okay.
So this is a Wes reissue, but a CT West Montgomery, thin body, single pickup, blonde finish, one humbucking, spruce top, ebony fingerboard, gold parts, same appointments as an L5, but it's a long scale neck, and it's like a Birdland but with a full scale neck. So just a very cool guitar, right?
Very cool, yes.
Very
Plays
comfortable.
beautifully, very comfortable. Yeah, it's great.
So I didn't even know that they made these, but it's some limited run. So the last time that we were doing videos, it was basically, we were talking about blues and extended voicings on blues. If you're playing something like American Songbook, you know, one of the, you know, classic standards, but you're improvising on it. So why don't we play a little something, and then we can talk about how you did it and why you chose to do what you did.
I'll take this is a tune, Autumn Leaves, that everybody knows, and it just kind of revolves around sort of two keys, G major and E minor. I'll just put in the loop just the first part of it, and I'll talk a little bit about it. So it starts off like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just, a little bit of the melody, and then I'll kind of solo. So I'll stop there. So basically the chord changes are A minor 7, D7, G major 7. So 2-5-1, and then it goes to the 4 chord, and then it does the same thing, 2 5s in the minor key. And the thing is guys will think scales, but scales are ridiculous. It's like trying to recite the alphabet to speak a language.
It becomes mechanical. If you're thinking too much, you gotta...
Yeah, and you're not communicating. I mean, I was just in Italy. If I wanted a cafe latte, I'd say due cafe latte, prego, you know, or I'd say, you know, tutto bene, which means are you okay, everything good? I wouldn't learn like all these different, you know, things that wouldn't give me results. So the thing is I have to think about each chord. So in that chord, there's a shape that I can work off of, like the A minor 7. I can either work off A minor, a triad, or C major. And for D7, it's the same thing. The D7 has a D major in it. It also has an F sharp diminished in it. So if you're learning your triads is really important because then you can outline the chords. It's easy for guitar players to do that because if you play this and you play these chord shapes, the shapes are right in the chords. We don't have to do anything except extract them. And you can hear the changes. And you get much better mileage out of it because what you're doing is you're basically outlining the sound of the chord, just like you would do if you're going to say a word. Words are not spelled for us to say the actual letters. If I had to go, you know, the word cafe, if I had to go A, B, C, you know, D, F, F, and to get cafe, it's like cafe, it's two sounds. So this A minor 7 is an A minor and a C major, and that's the important part of understanding.
Minor.
Yeah. So if I just use those shapes, and I have a course that shows this on the All Guitar Network, talking about auto
By the
leads.
way, the All Guitar Network, one thing I love about the way David teaches, he makes it very plain and, you know, understandable, you know, so.
Well, it has to be digestible, because if you don't get a result, if you took Italian lessons and after the first lesson you went, I can't do this.
Why do you keep saying Italian? I know you were just in
I
Italy.
was in Italy, so
We're going
we're going to eat some cappuccinos. No. But the thing is you have to get a result out of what you do. So if I'm just playing a scale, that's nothing. But this is music. And there's a coherence between the ideas of what I'm doing. I'm working off of the same type of intervals, the same type of sounds. That's the whole thing. When you play, like if you listen to any great improviser, if it's Jimi Hendrix or Charlie Parker or Pat Metheny or Carlos Santana, they all have a dialect and they all work off these certain kinds of sounds they like. And that's reflective in how they approach to play. It's not about playing 50 billion scales. I couldn't even recite half the scales that some guys could play, but I can certainly play over a set of changes because I understand how to bring about that sound. And that's what I want to do. Within that, I want to tell a story. So if I'm starting off very simply, the melody is all a triad. It's just, you've got that C major. You can see it here. There's the triad. The next one, there's a triad there. The last one is actually this augmented. So if I work off those shapes, simple thing to do, but you know, the thing is I have to get not just the notes, but I have to figure out rhythmically what to do. And every type of music has a rhythmic dialect. Rhythm is more important. You know that. You played Hammond organ.
holds the tunes
holds
together.
everything together. It's what propels the notes. So you have to understand the dialects of the rhythms you're playing and that you can play. And that gives everything that little sparkle. And then, of course, your personality into it. And you mimic. You listen to people. There's 3 steps to becoming a great improviser. The first is you imitate. It's not just imitating for imitation's sake, but you listen and you try to play what you hear. Then you assimilate and ultimately you innovate.
Well, we don't want to give the whole thing away because it's on the All Guitar Network and True Fire. And David Becker, one of the great teachers and one of the great players. So just wanted to bring you a little taste. We got him back in the States here. We just got back from Italy, and he was going to stay there because he loved the food so much. But
yeah.
But he came back anyhow. So, David, always great to see you.
Great to see you, Norm.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And thanks for sharing all the knowledge with everybody.
My pleasure.
David Becker.